and welcome to the B.A.S.S, Big and Small Screens. Today, today I'd like to talk to you about John Wick Chapter 2. That's right, John Wick, the original, the first part of this little series, was one of the first movies that I talked about on Big and Small Screens. So it's only fitting that I have a look at the second one. I actually have had this for a couple of months and just never got around to watching it. But I did, and it is fantastic. Everything that I've said about the first movie holds true in this one as well. They tend to do a lot with very little. Um, Thinking back after having watched it, there is really not a lot of dialogue, especially for John Wick. He doesn't say a lot in this, but what he does say usually is meaningful. It has a purpose. He doesn't speak just to hear himself speak. That is left up to all kinds of other characters. Um, Now, this one, however, this one deals with the aftermath in of the first one. Right at the beginning, he goes and gets his car back, but he also is beating up and killing a bunch of goons that belongs to the brother of the mob boss that he killed and the uncle of the one who stole John Wick's car and killed his dog. Um, so he ends up meeting face to face with him and kind of settling, basically peace. He wants peace. Uh, and the guy is basically like, yeah, sure, sure, peace, whatever you say. Uh, However, somebody else from his old life comes in, a man that helped him get out of the game many, many years ago, and calls in a marker on John Wick because he left and he came back. Uh, he's basically like, well, I'm calling in my marker now, and wants him to kill his sister. And his sister is somebody that is a member of the high table, as they call it, a group of men and women that basically run the underworld. Because the Continental isn't above the high table. The Continental has their own rules, and they delve into a lot of things in this underworld scenario a little bit more deeply. Um, I'm not going to spoil what all happens in this, but things go sideways, and it's John Wick killing a bunch of people. Uh, as an action movie, it's very straightforward, very to the point. The story itself, much like the first one, is a very, as I said, a very straightforward story. It doesn't mince words. It doesn't try to really play fast and loose with the narrative. It doesn't try to throw in twists and turns. You can pretty much guess what's going to happen right from the get-go. And the reason for that is because where all the interesting stuff, where all the subtleness comes in, is how it is portraying this very simple story. Because, as I said, you pretty much know what's going to happen. If you've seen any action movie, you know what's going to happen in this probably a half hour into the film, if not beforehand, as to how things are going to play out. Um, but the way that they play out is just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And as I said, I'm not spoiling it. I don't want to spoil it. If you like John Wick 2 or John Wick 1, go see John Wick 2. There's a couple of new faces in here, a couple of new assassins in this underworld, um, played by Ruby Rose and Common, um, who John Wick doesn't kill, I don't think. So they're probably going to be around. Lawrence Fishburne is in this as somebody that John Wick attacked in the past and let live, or rather gave him a choice, which allowed him to live. And then he goes to Lawrence Fishburne for help because Lawrence Fishburne is a character called the Bowery King that is like he's basically like the head of a whole bunch of homeless people that are more than they seem in and around New York City. Fascinating, fascinating world building. They deal with all this. They've expanded the universe quite a bit from the original John Wick, and I believe they're going to be making a third, um, possibly more, to further expand this universe and go up from there. And I'm loving this. The world that they're creating. This is a type of world building that I love because I look at it and I go, I want to play characters in this world. I want to role play in this world. It is fantastic. So yeah, that's going to be it for this episode of the Base. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, if you like what I'm doing, please give that like button a tap. Give that subscribe button a tap as well if you haven't already, so you can be kept apprised of when I do new videos. And throw a comment in the comment section. Have you seen John Wick Chapter 2? What did you think about it? Do you know of any other films similar to John Wick and John Wick 2 that you think I might be interested in? Throw those comments in the comment section. I'd love to get a discussion going with some people. And until next time, check out John Wick Chapter 2. You might like it. And I'll see you next time.